Welcome back, you beautiful people. Here we are. Oh, I'm with my mate Matt Todd again. We are at Goodwood. Ain't gonna lie, I am absolutely shattered. I put a video out 2 days ago of me in Portugal using the Buzz Power Energy Gels, and this morning me and my wife and son flew back to England, 3 a.m. start. I was going to go to work, but I was too tired, so I thought I'd have a nice restful day, sort the bike out, so get that ready, and yeah, we're going to go sign on. We're in the 2-3 tonight. Apparently numbers are more than last week, so that'd be interesting. But as always, Goodwood, the wind is howling, so riding smart would be the one. So go get our numbers, go get signed on, see what it's about. We are on in 1 hour's time. So yeah, let's get signed on, see what it's about. It's howling. And yeah, go for a warm up, get the energy gels in, and go and smash our legs off, hey Matt?
Yeah, boy.
Matt's still upset that he got a puncture last week.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's fixed the tyre, although he said he had 2 punches yesterday. So hopefully he's got them all out of the way. So yeah, let's go get the numbers and get out on the bike. Also for you guys, to keep you in the race with me, I have done the absolute hack bodge job. Zip ties, some Velcro, camera. It's not quite as far out front, and obviously look how smashed that screen is. But hopefully, you know, it's pretty sturdy. Get some footage of the race, see the moves, see how it happens. Me and Matt are going to go for it. If I don't get in the breakaway, we sort of try and get across and see how them moves happen. It always is helpful if you're learning to race and stuff. So yeah, there she is. Get it going, and yeah, so get kitted up, head out on the bike, warm up. We are off in half an hour now. Get a Joe and me, and yeah, get to the start line and see what's going on. There's some hitters here tonight, so it should be fun. Let's go. So just gone back to the van, and this lad Mark rolls up, says, "You the diabetic cyclist?" Because he's type 1 diabetic as well. And what, have you seen my videos? You've been racing here?
Saw on YouTube, I've seen you but didn't know you. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. See, the whole purpose of my videos is just to promote the type 1 diabetes. And like Mark, look at him, he's a healthy cyclist. As long as you look after your type 1, nothing can beat us. And like I say, him rolling up to me just then, he's like, "Are you the diabetic guy?" And it's like, oh, maybe I'm becoming that name. But that's what makes it all worthwhile, to show that type 1, we can still ride, hard, doesn't stop us, and we all kick his ass. So yeah, that's, honestly, no matter the result tonight now, this has made my night, that another type 1 diabetic knows about the video, knows about the journey. And yeah, so what's your plan tonight?
Well, I'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
See how the wind is.
Yeah, well, the wind is pretty savage out there. But I think the wind is the same as last week. So the key for this, which I say to everyone, that first straight is be on the right, so you're protecting yourself. And then the last straight. So I'm going to get a couple of sweets in me because my blood's just started dropping. But then we go to the start line and smash it. So yeah, it was nice meeting you. We hopefully see him on the vlog. I've got the camera on. So we're get on there, get the type 1 diabetics up there. So see ya. So let's say the buzz will drop in, so I'm going to get a Buzz Power in me. Right, look how easy that rips off. Quickly get that in, the honey. But honestly, Mark rolling up to me then has made my night. It's just so good to see other diabetics seeing this video, or seeing the videos and seeing, you know, it doesn't stop us. So yeah, let's get the start and have some fun. So here we are, we're all sat waiting, getting a talking to from the commissioner, just letting us know some rules, not putting your hands up across the finish line, that sort of thing. As you can see, there's quite a few of us, I think about 70. And here we are, we're on the track, we've just rolled out. And this week I've got some data on the screen. You've got speed, my watts, my heart rate, and the distance. So like most of these races, when we roll out, everyone more or less takes it chilled. Usually the first lap, I think a lot of people take it as a bit of a warm-up, suss everyone out. I don't think anyone went off the front straight away, because from here till the back corner was a big headwind. So yeah, we're just sort of chilling. And as you can see, we're now 3 kilometers into the race. So a bit further on, going into the final chicane, there's quite a big group of us. Everyone more or less single file. You want to keep yourself here on the left because the wind was blowing really strong from the right. So this was a good opening couple of laps. You could sort of see how the wind was blowing, that sort of thing. You want to suss the course out, because if you're in the wrong place with the wind, you can use a lot more effort, and being on wheels is helpful. So like this Wolf Fox team, a lot of the green jerseys, there's a lot of the team out there, and to be fair, as a team they rode really well. They would send someone off the front and then they would sort of block the peloton. It's like matey didn't really close a gap. I think he had a ride up the front, and so I put a dig in, but they all sat up. So a bit later in the race, again, we're all sort of cruising around. I'm further in the back, and here is Mark, the other diabetic cyclist, here on my left. I'll put a little arrow up now so you know which one it is. But it was good to see him out there, you know, having another type 1 diabetic race him, coming up to me at the start. Really did make my day. Like I said, the result was cool, but just a fellow diabetic being out there racing, you know, not slowing us down is cool. So yeah, we're quite far back in the pack. I tend to do this early in the race. If I don't see a break going off straight away, I sort of chill out for a little bit, see how everyone is. You know, I'm quite far back in this whole next section. You just see me, I'm always moving along the side, just sort of seeing who's out there. And like I say, there's a green kit, another green kit, there's a lot of that Wolf Fox team, and yeah, just sort of seeing how it is. And here the wind was really strong, again from sort of behind to your right, so everyone's on the left of the course. So here I'm getting a lot of protection. That means, you know, saving a lot of energy. The heart rate's low, you know, not crazy watts. I think I push on through a little bit because I see, you know, the front group is still quite far. So I've almost gone from the back to near the front along that whole back straight. Again, not putting in crazy power watts or anything like that, but I think there's about 20 riders around here still. But what I didn't know is this was actually a preem lap. I had no clue, which was on the 3rd lap. Usually they do it 4th or 5th lap. So, you know, people are pushing through, getting up there. And I think my teammate Matt actually took this. He's sprinting in the middle and goes for it. And I literally was thinking, what on earth are they sprinting for? Are they trying to get away? And then it sort of clicked. I was like, damn, is this a preem? And I roll up next to the organizer Seb, and I'm like, was that a preem? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, damn it. So my goal for the next part of the race was get the next preem, because preems are worth 25 points for the overall, which, you know, they soon add up. You know, 25 for a win, get 2 of them, that's 50 points, and winning the race is 100. So yeah, you get quite a lot of them. So I think this is the next part. Actually, you get to see some of the attacks that sort of happen, but a lot of this race there was attacks, but then they would sit up. No one would fully commit. Again, like the Wolf Fox guys, there's 1, 2, 3 of them. And this lad, Tom, I think it's Couzons, I think you pronounce it, you know, very, very strong rider. They've gone, you know, but the problem is when you're not used to being at the front and you don't realise how much energy is needed to stay away in a breakaway or be near the front. Because when you're in the peloton getting sort of pulled along, you're saving a lot of watts. You know, my heart rate's still pretty low. You know, for me, 150 is, you know, I've been riding most of this zone 2. And yeah, you see in a minute, you know, the 4 lads that just went off the front, we catch one of them in a minute. He's obviously, I don't know, burnt a match or 2. So yeah, that's just one of them passed, and then we catch straight on to the other 3, because like I say, if you don't work together, and this bit especially with the headwind, you're not going to go far. And although they had Tom with them, you know, if the other 2 aren't pulling or doing strong pulls, 40, 50 riders are going to catch on pretty quick. So yeah, it was a lot of that, a lot of attacks, and then sort of not really going anywhere, which I think is why obviously the race just stayed together. You know, some guys would go and then it would come back. So like these guys push on through, which are actually Joe and Alex, who were first and second in the champs. I'm third, and I was like, bugger, I've just missed that. So I jump on these wheels and try to get across. I'm sat on, matey pulls off, he's done his turn, and I'm thinking maybe if I get on with them we can pull away. So yeah, I put in a bit of a dig now, put in 1200 plus sprint to get across. I look over my shoulder and I see a bit of a gap, so I keep sprinting, but they now sit up, so I let off the watts just to roll into them. And then this is coming into the second preem, because I actually heard the whistle this time, and I was like, I'm having it. So yeah, I set myself in a nice position over on the left, so I'm not getting blown, so I'm in people's draft, and everyone sort of rolls into the chicane, which is always a bit weird. I just have to slam the brakes on because matey comes over a bit close, and then yeah, put the power down and go for it. My teammate Matt is over there on the right, and I just dig in, 1350 watt sprint, and yeah, I managed to get it. I think Alex Murphy was second, or Joe was second. There's Joe. And obviously put in a bit of a dig, expecting then the peloton to come flying by, and they don't. And obviously you see my heart rate after that sprint is quite high, so I settle down a little bit. I'm sort of looking around, no one is pulling. So what are we, 27 kilometers in, so we're about halfway through the race, and yeah, I look over my shoulder, no one's coming, so I let the watts right off. Ain't gonna lie, doing a 15-second max sprint will burn a match or two, so I have to take a second just to recover. The heart rate's dropping pretty quick, and then again the Wolf Fox guys over on the left, they go for a sprint, and there's a few of them there, but that move again doesn't go anywhere because in about 10 seconds they all sit up. So yeah, certainly a lot of that sprint, sit up, and I think this might be the last lap now. Actually, I've sort of done this race in 4 sections, the start, and then the bit of the middle, the preems, and the last lap. And 3 lads have actually gone off the front. I think there's a Wolf Fox guy, Tom Couzons, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, and an RCR guy. So again, these guys aren't pulling too hard, so I'm like, maybe I can get across. But this was a bit of an error on my behalf. I sprinted across, but some of the lads have actually jumped on my wheel, and I've sort of pulled them a little bit, so I pull to the left to let them pull through. But the next guy doesn't pull through quick enough and sort of blocks me, and then I think Joe and Alex go absolutely hauling through. As you can see, they must be coming past at 55 kilometers an hour, and that difference in speed have dropped down to 48. Heart rate's already high, and this Wolf Fox guy pulls through a little bit and then pulls straight off, because I think there's a Wolf Fox at the front, so he's not keen to chase him down. So I'm like, well, if I want to be in that little breakaway that just gone for the sprint finish, I need to dig deep. So we're up to 58 kilometers an hour, 59, 60. The tailwind helped, but those guys had already got the initial sprint, so they're already flying along at probably 64 kilometers an hour. So I'm digging deep, the heart rate's high, and slowly catch these guys up. But then they actually sit up a little bit, and I've obviously let off the watch. You can see they drop down to 100, 200, and the peloton then closes in really quick. And going into this final chicane, everyone spreads out, and obviously the chicane is really tight, and I have to brake a little bit, and this lad here on the left has a massive crash in a second, which is very, very unfortunate. I hope he's okay. But you can see everyone's spread out, and it makes this chicane, instead of being single file. So yeah, we go into it, big sprint, and I sit on this mate's wheel a little bit, but I catch it sprints all the way across the track, and I just managed to get sixth, coming from way back, shutting off it is what it is. And there's the race. Well, there we have it, ladies and gent. Another race done. Pretty gnarly out there. Obviously, I'm going to put in a crash that happened on that finish straight. Oh my life. I think we were going like 60 kilometers an hour. Mate slipped the pedal. And like I say, it happened right in front of me. His bike sliding across. Proper messing up. My man, Matt Todd, top 10. He was up there. But again, a lot of them, people caught out in the crash. That was very fast. Tried a few breakaways, but the wind, if you were gone, it was hard. So, like I say, I was still so buzzing that a type 1 diabetic came up to me and was like, I'm loving your video. So, I'd say the result is fun. But like I say, someone coming up to me saying they're loving the videos, the content, as a type 1 diabetic, amazing. There's all those lads behind. Yeah, kind of women. Go on, girls! Women are still racing. There's a follow car. So yeah, while we're racing, I think the girls start half an hour after us. And fair play to them. I think there's 5 of them just absolutely flat out. So, like I say, ladies and gents, if you're liking these videos of the old Goodwood circuits, me and Matt are off to Surrey on Sunday for, I think it's a Regional A road race. So something different to the circuits. So hopefully you enjoy the footage. Give it a comment, thumbs up, give it a share, give it some love. Yeah, thanks guys. Me and Matt Todd are out. Good day.